A billionaire gets a call that his twin brother just died in prison. 23 years. Wrongly convicted. But when the DNA results come back, everything he thought he knew about his life shatters. He wasn't the heir. He wasn't even the real twin. The brother who died in chains. He was the one who deserved the empire. What happens when you realize you've been living a stolen life? Stay until the end. This twist will leave you shocked. Donovan James stood in his corner office on the 72nd floor, staring at Lake Michigan below. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. He ignored it. The phone buzzed again. Same number. This is Donovan. Mr. James? This is Warden Patricia Collins from Stateville Correctional Center. I'm calling about your brother, Darius James. Donovan's jaw tightened. He hadn't spoken to Darius in 23 years. Not since the trial. Not since the conviction. Not since his twin brother screamed at him in that courtroom, begging him to believe his innocence. What about him? Sir, I'm very sorry to inform you that Darius passed away yesterday morning. Heart attack. He was only 41. The phone slipped from Donovan's hand. It clattered against the marble desk. He grabbed the edge to steady himself. His assistant knocked on the door. He waved her away. He picked up the phone. What did you say? Your brother is dead, Mr. James. We need you to come identify the body and collect his belongings. He listed you as his only contact. Donovan hung up. He walked to the window. His reflection stared back at him. Same face Darius had. Same dark brown skin. Same sharp jawline. Same eyes. But Donovan wore a $3,000 suit. Darius wore prison blues. Wore. Past tense now. His phone buzzed again. His wife, Melissa. Baby, are you coming home for dinner? Zoe has her piano recital at 7. I can't. Something came up. Donovan, you promised. I know. I'm sorry. Tell Zoe I'll make it up to her. He hung up before she could respond. He grabbed his keys and walked out. The drive to Stateville took an hour. Donovan hadn't been this far south in years. The prison rose from the flat Illinois landscape like a concrete tombstone. Gray walls. Barbed wire. Guard towers. Inside, the air smelled like bleach and sweat. Warden Collins met him in the lobby. She was a short black woman with tired eyes and graying hair. Mr. James, thank you for coming. I know this must be difficult. Let's just get this over with. She led him down a long hallway. Their footsteps echoed. They entered a cold room with a metal table. A body lay under a white sheet. Whenever you're ready, she said. Donovan nodded. She pulled back the sheet. He staggered backward. His hand flew to his mouth. It was like looking in a mirror. But this mirror showed him broken. Darius's face was gaunt. Deep lines cut across his forehead. Gray streaked his hair. His lips were cracked. His skin looked ashen. That's him, Donovan whispered. That's Darius. Warden Collins covered the body. He asked me to give you something. Come with me. They walked to her office. She handed him a shoebox. Inside were letters. Dozens of them. All addressed to Donovan. All returned unopened. He wrote to you every month for 23 years, she said. You never wrote back. Donovan's hands shook. He killed someone. A store clerk during a robbery. There was video evidence. Witnesses. His DNA at the scene. Mr. James, I've been warden here for 15 years. I've met thousands of inmates. Some guilty. Some innocent. Your brother never stopped claiming he was innocent. Not once. Most guilty men eventually admit it, even if just to themselves. Darius never did. The evidence was circumstantial. The video was grainy. The witnesses weren't reliable. The DNA was contaminated. There were problems with that case from the beginning. But your brother was a 20-year-old black kid from the South Side with a public defender who barely tried. The jury took 2 hours to convict him. Donovan set the box down. Why are you telling me this? Because 3 months ago, A man named Vincent Walker confessed on his deathbed to that murder. He said Darius was at the wrong place at the wrong time. He said he let an innocent man go to prison while he walked free for 23 years. The Innocence Project was reviewing Darius's case. They were going to file for his release next week. The room spun. Donovan grabbed the desk. "You're lying." "I wish I was. Your brother was going to be exonerated. He was going to be free. But his heart gave out before we could tell him. Stress. Poor medical care. 23 years of carrying that weight. It killed him, Mr. James." Donovan stumbled out of the office. He made it to his car before he vomited in the parking lot. He sat in the driver's seat for an hour. He opened one of the letters. "Donnie, it's me. I know you don't believe me. I know you think I'm guilty. But I'm your twin brother. We shared a womb. We shared everything growing up. You have to know in your soul that I didn't do this. Please, just visit me once. Just look me in the eyes. You'll see the truth. Please, Donnie. I'm begging you. Your brother, Darius." The letter was dated 22 years ago. Donovan opened another. And another. Each one more desperate. More heartbroken. The last one was dated 3 weeks ago. "Donnie, I'm tired. My body's giving up. I don't blame you for not writing back. I understand why you stayed away. You built something beautiful with your life. You didn't want my shame touching it. But I need you to know I forgive you. I forgive you for not believing me. I forgive you for choosing your perfect life over me. When I die, and I will soon, I'll die knowing I had a brother who I loved even when he couldn't love me back. Goodbye, Donnie. Take care of yourself. Darius." Donovan screamed. He punched the steering wheel until his knuckles bled. He screamed until his voice broke. He cried until he couldn't breathe. His phone buzzed. "Warden Collins. Mr. James, there's one more thing. We found something in Darius's medical file. Something strange. You should come back inside." If this story is hitting you hard, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. You're helping stories like Darius's reach people who need to hear them. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. Now, back to the story, because what happens next will break your heart. Donovan walked back into the prison. His knuckles throbbed. Blood stained his shirt cuffs. Warden Collins waited in her office. A younger woman sat across from her. White coat. Stethoscope around her neck. "Mr. James, this is Dr. Sarah Chen. She was your brother's physician for the last 5 years." Dr. Chen stood. She held a manila folder. "Mr. James, I'm sorry for your loss. I need to talk to you about something we discovered during Darius's autopsy." "Autopsy? Why would you do an autopsy?" "Standard procedure for unexpected deaths in custody. We found something unusual. Your brother had a rare genetic marker. It's called Huntington's disease. It's hereditary. Fatal. It's passed from parent to child. If one parent has it, there's a 50% chance the child inherits it." Donovan's stomach dropped. "What does this have to do with me?" "Everything. Because Huntington's is genetic. We cross-referenced with your medical records. You donated blood at a charity drive last year through your company. It's in the database." She opened the folder. "Mr. James, you don't have the marker. You don't have Huntington's disease." "That's good news, right?" "No. You don't understand. If Darius had it, and you're identical twins, you should have it too. Identical twins share 100% of their DNA. But you don't have it. Which means only one thing." She paused. "You're not identical twins. You're not biological brothers at all." The floor disappeared beneath Donovan's feet. He grabbed the chair. "That's impossible. We looked exactly alike. You look similar, but not identical. I compared photos. Darius had a birthmark on his neck. You don't. His ears were slightly larger. Your nose is straighter. You look like brothers, but not identical twins. Someone lied to you both." Warden Collins handed him another folder. We did some digging. We contacted the hospital where you were born. Cook County Hospital. 1984. There was a fire in the records room in 1992. Most birth records from the 80s were destroyed. But we found something in the backup files. You and Darius weren't born on the same day. Donovan couldn't breathe. What are you saying? Darius was born on March 15, 1984 to Patricia and Robert James. You were born 3 days later on March 18 to a woman named Karen Mitchell. She was 16. Drug addict. She died of an overdose 2 days after giving birth. You were put up for adoption. The James family adopted you when you were 6 days old. They told everyone you were Darius's twin. They raised you as twins. But you weren't. Donovan collapsed into the chair. No. My parents wouldn't lie about that. They're both dead, Mr. James. Car accident in 2003. We can't ask them why they did it. But the records don't lie. Darius was their biological son. You were adopted. Dr. Chen leaned forward. There's more. The James family had money when Darius was born. Robert James owned 3 dry cleaning businesses. They had a trust fund set up for Darius. $500,000. He was supposed to get it when he turned 25. But when they adopted you, they split it. They put both your names on it. When Darius went to prison, the trust defaulted to you. You used that money to start your first business. Donovan stood up so fast the chair fell over. Stop. Just stop. Your entire empire was built on money that belonged to Darius. Money that should have been his. While he rotted in prison for a crime he didn't commit, you became a billionaire using his inheritance. Donovan stumbled out. He made it to the parking lot. He threw up again. He sat on the concrete. Cars drove past. Guards changed shifts. The sun set. He didn't move. His phone rang. Melissa. He didn't answer. It rang again. His business partner. He didn't answer. It rang 27 times. He counted each one. At midnight, he drove home. His house sat on 3 acres in Winnetka. 10 bedrooms. Pool. Guest house. He'd bought it 5 years ago. $2 million. Pocket change. Melissa waited in the kitchen. Where have you been? Zoe cried herself to sleep. You missed her recital again. My brother died. Her face softened. Darius. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I know you two weren't close, but still. He was innocent. He spent 23 years in prison for something he didn't do. And he wasn't my brother. Not really. I was adopted. Everything I am, everything I have, I built on money that belonged to him. I stole his life. He told her everything. She listened. When he finished, she grabbed his hand. Donovan, you didn't know. You can't blame yourself for what your parents did. I can blame myself for not visiting him, for not reading his letters, for believing he was guilty because it was easier than believing the system was broken. He begged me to look him in the eyes. He knew I'd see the truth, but I was too busy building my empire on his stolen money to care. He walked upstairs. He went to his office. He opened his laptop. At 3 in the morning, he started typing. By sunrise, he'd drafted a press release. By noon, his lawyers were screaming at him. By evening, every news station in Chicago had the story. Donovan James, billionaire CEO of James Industries, was stepping down. He was liquidating his entire fortune. Every penny would go to criminal justice reform, to the Innocence Project, to families of wrongly convicted prisoners, to Darius's name. He stood in front of cameras outside his office building. Reporters shouted questions. I built my life on a lie, he said. My brother, Darius James, died in prison 3 days ago. He was innocent. He was the real heir to the James family fortune. Not me. I was adopted, but I didn't know. I took everything that should have been his. I can't give him back his life. I can't give him back 23 years. But I can make sure his death means something. Every dollar I have came from him. It's going back to fight for people like him. A reporter pushed forward. "What will you do now?" Donovan looked at the camera. At Darius, wherever he was. "I'm going to live the life my brother should have lived. I'm going to fight for people who have no one to believe them. I'm going to be the brother I should have been 23 years ago." It's too late for Darius. But it's not too late for thousands of others. He walked away from the cameras. From the empire. From everything. Melissa and Zoe waited by the car. His daughter ran to him. He picked her up. "Daddy, are we poor now?" He kissed her forehead. "No, baby. For the first time in my life, I'm rich. Really rich." He carried her to the car. In his pocket, he felt the weight of Darius's last letter. The paper was thin from being folded and unfolded. He'd read it 50 times since yesterday. One line stayed with him. "I forgive you," Donovan whispered into the wind. "I don't forgive myself, brother. But I'll spend the rest of my life trying to earn your forgiveness anyway." He got in the car. They drove away from the life he'd built on his brother's stolen dreams. Toward something real. Toward redemption. Toward the truth. Behind them, the sun set over Chicago. Somewhere in that city, another innocent person sat in a cell, writing letters no one would read, praying someone would believe them. Donovan would find them. All of them. For Darius. For the brother who died so he could finally live. If you felt that, if Donovan's story shook you, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell so you never miss another story that matters. Drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from, your city, your country. I want to know this story reached you. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.